Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of Boots, Banter, and Beyond, the stories of Irreverent Warriors, the show where stories about how humor and camaraderie have changed the lives for the better. I am your host, as always, Eric Schessel. Today on our show, we're happy to be talking with Steve Sopata. He's the local coordinator out in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm excited to learn more about our brother out in the Midwest and his chapter. We're going to talk about his military life, how he got involved with IW, and as well as what IW means to him. And maybe even he'll tell us what he's got planned for his hike this year. So let's go. Steve, what's going on, man?
Another day in paradise. How about yourself, Eric?
I cannot complain. Did you have a good day today?
Actually, I got to stay in the office pretty much all day today, which was very rare for me.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
I guess my official truck driver is a gopher. I do go for this, go for that. Most of the time, I am a regional truck driver. Here and around Iowa and surrounding states.
Okay.
Also take care of our yard here in Des Moines. Pretty much jack of all trades, master of none, just like in the military.
Well, all right. Well, all right. Very fitting then. So we usually, since you mentioned that, so we always kind of start off with everybody talking about their military connection and everything like that. So what did you do in the military? How long were you in? Branch, MOS, all that good stuff. Give us the rundown.
Well, let's see here. I was in the Navy, I guess you can technically say 3 different times. I was active service from 2000 to 2005. I was a helicopter mechanic on the Navy's version of the Black Hawk. I went into the reserves, still working on the Black Hawk for about a year. Reactivated myself in 2007, changed jobs to aviation bosun's mate, aircraft handler. Basically, I worked on the flight deck directing aircraft for 3 years. So I did a grand total of 8 years active and about a year and a half in the reserves.
Nice. So what made you finally stop? Because I mean, usually when people go guard or reserves, they'll stay in for their 20. So you just didn't you weren't feeling it.
No, in 2010, 30 days before I was officially kicked out of the Navy, I found out that I was getting processed out due to higher tenure, but basically I didn't make the certain rank in a certain amount of years. And I had 30 days to get all my affairs in order whenever I found out about it.
Gotcha. Well, that sucks.
Yeah. And as a result, I got an RE6, so I can't even do anything with the guard.
Boo.
Yeah.
But now you're a truck driver doing all the things.
Yeah, I got paid to see the world. Now I get well, at the time I was OTR over the road, got paid to see the country I once protected.
Nice. Excellent. And do you like it?
I do.
Okay.
Do. I'm not over the road anymore. I'm home 98% of the time.
Oh, that makes it easy then.
Oh yeah. It's nice being home every night in my own bed.
So do you have any funny, sad stories or whatever from your service that you wanna share? Anything fun?
Well, looking back on it now, it is kind of funny. Let's see here, what was it? September 2008. I actually fell off the ship.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I kid you not. I fell off the ship. We were pulling into Dubai, UAE on our out shop. That was our last Gulf port visit before we started headed home. I was literally on a gangplank on the off the fantail of the ship, the stern of the ship, with the 50 cal in front of me for security watch. And so I mean, I look straight down and all I see is water. There's no boat under me at all. I'm just on a gangplank. I went to shift my weight and lost my balance. The one safety wires that were going across there hit me right in my hip. I did go over initially. My lifeline that I was hooked to held me in place, but snapped. And I remember distinctively, I saw the sky, the boat, and the water 3 different times because I cartwheeled.
Oh, damn.
About 60, 70 feet into the water.
Did you turn and do cannonball? Did you dive? Like what were the scores when you hit the water?
I think everybody was just surprised that I came back up.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's a far drop.
Well, and the general consensus is, if the back of my hand is my back and the middle finger is my head, I hit at a weird, goofy angle. I have no memory of hitting the water at all.
Oh, wow.
It knocked me out instantaneously. I woke up approximately 20 feet under the water. I looked down, it was dark. I looked up, it was bright, and I went up.
Yeah, heading towards the light in that circumstance is usually probably a good thing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that
man.
that is my most wild story, I guess you can say.
So now I got to ask because now I'm curious. Like, do you have a fear of boats and water or anything like that anymore at this point? Now that that
Uh,
actually happened to you?
Today, no. I
No.
I I don't have a fear of heights, water, or anything like that. I would say the first maybe month after it happened, I was afraid to go outside the skin of the ship, even though if I would have been like right in the middle on the flight deck, it still bothered me a little bit. Um, the smoking area was on one side of the ship. I am a smoker at the time, and it was maybe, I don't know, 10-foot wide. I stayed against the skin of the ship. I could not look over the side of the ship for about a month.
Yeah, that would track. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have a lot of the same difficulties.
But nowadays, yeah, heights don't bother me. Water doesn't bother me at all.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're able to take a bath in peace.
Thanks.
So, so all right. So you went from Navy and then to truck driving, and now you're Irreverent Warriors. So how
Correct.
did you first get involved? How did you find out about the organization, and then how did you get involved? What's your story, your path from there, from
Ah,
finding out about it all the way to like when you became a local coordinator, what you're doing now?
I don't remember exactly how I found out about IW. I want to say it was Facebook, but I'm not 100% sure. Back in 2021, it was about, I don't know, maybe about a month before the Quad Cities hike. And I looked it up, got onto the website and everything else. It looked like something fun to do. At that time, I was very, introverted at the time, kept to myself, even, I mean, I got my family and everything else like that, but I didn't do really go out at all. So I gave it a shot, booked a hotel room for the weekend, went to the meet and greet. I was a little leery about that. Ended up meeting Cindy, who I didn't know who she was at the time.
No, I don't think
Um,
anybody that knows who Cindy is the first time
yeah,
they meet
because
her.
I was having an issue with an order, and she goes, "Well, what's your name and everything else?" She goes, "Oh, by the way, I'm Cindy. I'm the CEO of Irreverent Warriors," and my jaw just dropped.
Like, oh shit.
Um, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, "Oh, great, first impression, lovely." But I did the Quad Cities hike. I actually had to tap out halfway through because of my back from falling off the ship. I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
But literally, I got home that evening, looked up other events within the area. The following week, they had another one in Iowa up in Cedar Falls. I immediately booked a hotel. I went to that hike, did that full hike, back to back, and I fell in love with it. So in 22, I was one of the assistant coordinators for the Des Moines hike. I also did more hikes that year. I went to Kansas City, Cedar Falls again. Quad Cities didn't have theirs. I just missed the Des Moines hike. Or no, I did. I helped coordinate the Des Moines hike in 22. Did a couple other cities. The leader at the time asked me if I wanted to take over, and I said, okay, sure. So I took over I had my first official hike last year, and I got another one coming up here in 3 weeks,
Yeah, we've got Des
June
Moines.
29th.
Yep. Um, bam. Put that up there.
Yep.
So it's got, yes, IW Iowa or IW Des Moines, I guess. Either one.
Uh, on Facebook it's actually IW Iowa.
Okay. Well, then I got the ticker right then.
Yes,
So
you
at
did.
least we're off on a good start with that. So so you've been involved since like 2019, 2020, 21-ish. So
21.
21. What is, I guess, what's your why? Why do you stay involved, and what drives you to continue on with the organization?
Um, I guess one of the biggest things is it really brought me out of my shell that I know a lot of veterans go through, self-isolating and everything else like that. Now I try to find different events to go to, whether it's, Irreverent Warriors related or not. Anything that has to do with veterans. I want to say a couple weeks ago, I went to a Iowa Barnstormers game where they honored the veterans, and I actually had the opportunity to walk on the field with one of the players,
That's cool.
which was phenomenal. Um, and I keep doing it because I want to get other veterans to open up, you know, about the things that they have gone through. They're, talking about your personal demons that you have, inside of your head. It's hard to do with your spouse and everything else because they don't quite understand. But whenever you talk to another veteran that has walked that walk and has talked that talk, it just takes so much pressure off of you. And I want to keep that going. I want to keep getting members into not just our hike here in Des Moines, other hikes involved. Let them know, hey, we're across the nation, and I mean we're going globally too,
Yeah.
which I love. I want to get out to Normandy.
Right? Yeah. I Normandy, Puerto Rico, Trieste. I'd like to do the Italy one as well. I want to get up to Anchorage and do that one too. Just all the weird
That one
destination
would
hikes
be
just seem
interesting.
fun. Yeah,
Anchorage would be
absolutely.
interesting.
Yeah. Um, but no, I mean you hit the nail on the head. Like the mission and how it makes us feel. We want to share that with everybody else. Like I just was at the Milford Silkies hike up in Mass on the
Mm.
25th over Memorial Day weekend. And it's always been a good it's always a good hike. They didn't have it last year, but I was there the year before, and then this year when they brought it back. And I got to tell you, I was feeling kind of iffy, the weeks leading up to it, just because I just needed the interaction. I
Right.
don't, I kind of, I'm not so much introverted, um, but I don't get out as much to hang out with brothers and sisters because I'm really busy with work and,
Right.
and volunteering and stuff, and so going up and being around um, the IW family for an entire day. Um, Really just I came out of there and I was recharged and refreshed, and it was just a great feeling. Like my cup was emptied. Like I got rid of all the stresses, all the worries, all the everything was just washed away. When I was hanging out with everybody for that day. So
It's amazing what one hike can do to recharge, your batteries.
oh yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't
Um
even realize you need it until you actually do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I was kind of like I thought I was feeling just fine. I thought I was okay, and then I went and I realized that maybe I wasn't absolutely okay because I feel so much better now, or maybe I was okay, but still I still felt so much better after that hike.
Totally
So
agree.
you're set up in Des Moines, Iowa. So
Correct.
what can you tell us about the city and how the city has received the organization as a whole and their support for us and what we do?
Let's see here. Well, I'm not 100% sure on my history here with Des Moines because I am an implant. I'm originally from Colorado.
We'll
But I
forgive
am
you that.
getting, yeah, most people do. Um, I believe this year is going to be year 5 or 6 that the hike has gone on here in Des Moines. Like I said, this will be my third hike with Des Moines, second as a coordinator. Every time we go out, whether it's on a recon or we go out trying to find different stop locations, And once they hear what we are about, and especially when we state our mission statement, we bring veterans together using human camaraderie to improve mental health and prevent veteran suicide. I think it's that last two parts that everybody just lights up and go, "Oh, yes, we would love you to be here." And I've actually had one last year, I forget the stop name, but they actually had something previously planned for that day. They wiped it out for us to
Oh
come in,
wow.
you know. Um, we have been, like I said, even whenever we are actually doing our hikes, everybody sees everybody in Silkies and everything else. They see all the unit flags, branch flags, the American flags flying around, and stop and ask us, "Well, what are you guys doing? What's going on?" And again, we tell them what we're about, and well, my brother, my sister, whatever cousin, they are veterans. I think this would be great. Here's our card. We'll see you next year. You know, I think we've gotten a few of them. Just from that, just that quick 10, 15-second interaction while we're actually on our hike. And it's amazing how quickly word spreads around. It's almost like wildfire.
Yeah. And I bet you guys end up getting more people and more groups and then more places of business wanting to get involved
Yes,
when they see it. They're like, "Oh, what is this? We want to be a part of this. Like, how do we get in that?"
actually, yeah, this year we had, I believe it was Starbucks actually reached out to us wanting to provide coffee for in the morning.
Well, that's cool.
They reached out to us. I had a couple other people reach out to us in regards to volunteering and everything, and general questions. But now, like I said, being my third year here in Des Moines with the hike, I've watched it, go from one thing to where we are today, and it's completely night and day. I mean, people are reaching out to us. We still go out into the community, but I've noticed more and more they're reaching out to IW, instead of the other way around.
Yeah. What can you tell us about your hike this year? What fun things you got in store? I don't want all the secrets to be given now that you got stuff you're trying to hide, but give us an appetizer.
Well, we are kind of going back to our routes, kind of going back to some of the original from a few years ago, but we're also changing up the ending of our hike. We're going into kind of a different area that, to the best of my knowledge, really hasn't been touched yet.
Okay.
So a little bit of the old with a little bit of the new, bringing it together.
How
That's all I'm
long
gonna
is your
say.
hike this year? All of a sudden, I can't hear you anymore. I don't know what happened. Did you lose sound? Oh, we got technical difficulties. I can't hear you. Oh man, he lost sound. We'll wait to see if he can't pull up his mic on his computer. I should have the Jeopardy theme song. Oh, and then he disconnected. He's gonna reconnect. So he's gonna be right back. So now I'm just gonna sit here and talk about all kinds of things. So I I got nothing. Hopefully he comes back soon. Um, yeah. Yeah. So questions. If you guys have questions for any of these hikes, any of these interviews that we do, please comment on the posts and make sure that you guys get a hold of us so that we can answer questions. When you guys answer the questions and you guys share these interviews, more people find out about our hikes, our organization, which can hopefully reach other people that haven't even experienced what this organization is all about, and we get to bring everybody else together, right? It's all about bringing veterans together, and that includes our active brothers and sisters as well. So we want to make sure that we're able to bring everybody here, bring everybody together, and hopefully we can save a few lives. All right, I hit the record thing, so it's looked like it's trying.
It looks like it's recording on my end.
Recording resumed. All right, cool. So there we go. So now we're back. All right, so Steve was having some technical difficulties, and he's rejoined us. And what were we talking about before we got disconnected? Because then I just started rambling by myself, and that's never fun.
And I have no clue what you were saying. I think we were talking about, the hike. I remember the last question you asked me is how long it is. I believe it's about 5.5, 6 miles this year.
Okay, yes, that's we were asking about the hike and how long it was. Right, right. Well, that's good. What can you tell us about any of the stops, anything like that, or you wanna keep all that stuff patent secret until hike day?
I'm going to keep that one a secret.
Okay, no, that's fair. I mean, that draws people out, right? We want everybody to come out, so we can't give everybody the meat and potatoes. What is or has been a favorite moment or moments for you since you've become a local coordinator for IW Iowa?
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're getting into the deep shit right now.
Oh wow. I would have to say my greatest um, moment for me since becoming an LC was, last year, my very first hike, leading the whole entire hike, watching one, my team grow, two, actually being able to kind of be an outsider looking in, if you will, during the hike. And I never even realized it at the time until I became an LC, everything you got to watch for, and watching all of the connections, coming together, people that haven't seen each other for a while, getting back together, giving hugs, haven't seen you, getting caught up on things, new connections being formed, all the smiles, the laughter, the tear, even though that does happen, it's so heartwarming to
Yeah.
watch everything come together. And then at the end of that hike, I literally walked to my Suburban, which was right across the street from where our ending point was. And I had, my wife was one of the volunteers, and I literally got to my Suburban. I put my back against it. I kind of slid down my Suburban, kind of like a cartoon, and I just broke down, because I did it. I brought people together again. You know, it's hard to do, but the end result was so overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, I just started crying. It was just tears of joy seeing everything come together.
Which is good. I mean, and it's you're breaking down, you're crying, but not because of sadness, but because of pride, or because of you and your team, and everybody involved, your hike support, your hike leadership team. Everybody was, you guys brought veterans together, and hopefully you saved a life that day.
Yeah,
That's always been my kind of my drive, was
exactly.
work is I'll bust my tail, and put the team and the hike sport that we have here, and put this event together, and hopefully that Silkies Hike just saves at least one life, because that just makes it worth it.
Or at least you get a connection going, and
Yeah.
that can just spread like wildfire.
Yep. So I think, all right, so the last question I have for you, right?
Okay.
What would you tell someone that listens to this interview, and watches this, and then hears everything we've talked about, um, has not heard of Irreverent Warriors, or has, but hasn't yet come out to any of the Silkies hikes? What advice would you give them about the organization, and about the Silkies hikes?
I would definitely say, especially if you've heard about it, but you're still kind of on the fence about it, do it. I mean, I did. I said whenever I found out about this in 2021, I went by myself. I drove 2.5 hours away out to the Quad Cities. Didn't know anybody whenever I got there. You know, I met obviously I met Cindy at the meet and greet, which was a surprise. But you know, during the hike, even though I only went halfway through it because of my back, I had walked away with 5 different phone numbers, and I am still in contact with those 5 different people today. I know it's hard to come out of your shell. It is very hard to do, especially if you don't like being around crowds and everything else like that. But whenever you're within that element, you are 100% safe. You know, nobody's going to mess with you. Somebody starts, you know, out, you know, somebody out not within the element starts messing. You got, you know, anywhere from 20 to over 100 people walking with you that will have your back no matter what. Definitely come out. I did it. And now I am here, there, and everywhere. Plus in charge of the Des Moines hike.
That's good, and it's super important. You know, it's I can't remember who had said it, but they had said that if you come out to the Silkies hikes, and you don't come away with a positive feeling, then we've failed as local coordinators.
Yes.
And I take that to heart. You know,
Yep.
we bring all we want every veteran to come on out here because we lose too many of our brothers and sisters each and every day, and hopefully the stuff like this and your words will resonate with someone anywhere in the country to go to the website and check out one of the hikes, even if it's not yours, it's not mine. It could be anybody's. Just go out to a damn Silkies hike.
Do it. It saved me, not gonna lie. It really did.
Did it?
It did. You know, the demons in my head were, you know, really messing with me a lot back then. I mean, there's not gonna lie, they're still there, but nowhere near as much as they used to be.
Well, that's good to hear.
And
Um,
I literally got Irreverent Warriors to thank for that.
yeah, absolutely, and that means a lot. Just to have you say that. You know, it takes a lot to even to just admit that you got demons. I got demons. You got demons. You know, we all have them, but being able to admit that and then be able to say, yeah, I got demons, but guess what? You come out to these Silkies hikes. You know, those demons don't seem so bad. They don't seem so daunting because you find that you've got an entire family, you've got an entire organization that just has your back and will support you when you're not doing so great. So it's awesome.
100% correct.
Yeah. Well, I think that about wraps it up, man. I sincerely hope that your hike this year is a success and that you continue to drive the mission of Reverent Warriors out there in the Midwest. Keep doing
Thank you.
great things, and let's get as many people as we can to come out to Des Moines, Iowa, on June 29th.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And there you have it. Want to thank Steve from IW Iowa out there in Des Moines, out in the Midwest, for spending some time with us this evening. Thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate it, and for you to take the time to hang out with us tonight. Um, Thank you, everybody, for listening and tuning in. Make sure you all share this far and wide so that we can bring a little bit of humor and camaraderie to anybody who might listen. Until next time, stay reverent, my friends.